And joining us now is Chairman of Reform UK, Lee Anderson. Good morning, Mr. Anderson. Thanks for joining us today. Look, the Burnham bounce is very real. We're seeing polls starting to put you in neck with the Labour Party. If he were to call a snap election now, would you be worried about your chances?
Oh, first of all, Alex, let's get your facts right. This is not a Burnham bounce. We've just got rid of Keir Starmer bounce. It's relief from the public there. That's what it actually is. And this bounce won't last very long because I think, as Andrew just said there, he's got 400 Labour MPs, backbench MPs behind him who'll be crying out for what they want, when actually that's...
Well, there you go. This is GB News Originals. I'm Emily Carver. Please do give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And do leave a comment. Let me know what you think.
That's not what the public wants. But yes, we're ready for a general election. And I heard earlier on GB News that Kemi was advising on policy for Andy Burnham. It's all well and good advising, but she should be calling for a general election as well. We've had enough of this government. This is a new circus in town, but it's the same clowns performing.
Yeah, so Kemi Badenoch is calling on Andy Burnham to cut welfare, rule out tax rises and get Britain drilling. She's written a letter to Andy Burnham today. Would you agree with the contents of that letter?
I would agree with that, but it's a bit hypocritical, Ellie, when these are exactly the three things that the Tories did when they was in power. They increased taxes, they increased welfare, and they carried this net zero lunacy on to the max. So it's a bit rich now. There's only Reform UK actually that will sort this nonsense out. And yes, there's been a bit of a blip in the polls, the so-called Burnham bounce, as Alex described it. It's not a bounce, as I say. It's just relief from the public. We'll see in 6 months' time. I'll be back on. I'm sure I'll be on before then on the Breakfast Show. But we'll see where the polls are then.
Yeah, Lee, I guess a lot of people are asking now with this reshuffle, because I think that's basically what this is. It's going to be a reshuffle of the existing cabinet, where the radical change is going to be seen in Britain. Do you have faith that changing Prime Minister can indeed change the course of the direction of the country?
Look, Alex, I was in the chamber last week in PMQs when Starmer was bleating on about his huge majority. I turned the Labour Party around. He got this massive landslide victory in 2024, and sat right behind me was Jeremy Corbyn, and he just shouted out, "Hold on a minute, I got more votes than you." So it just shows you where we are with politics at the moment. Nobody really wanted this government. It was a victory built on sand. People were so fed up with the Tories after 14 years of failure, and I was part of that for 4.5 years. And obviously, Reform UK, we got 4.1 million votes. So the country didn't really want this Labour government. They won on 34% of the vote. And I think we're going to get more of the same, but a little bit worse. And mark my words, guys, this new Prime Minister coming in, who by the way, has got no mandate at all, will be worse than Starmer.
One of the big questions today, Lee, is going to be who's he going to select to move into number 11? Who's he going to choose as his chancellor? There's been talk of Ed Miliband. There's also been talk of Shabana Mahmood. We understand that Shabana Mahmood is going to be the favourite. If she is selected, what do you think that would mean for her immigration reform? And do you think this could be a way of actually Andy Burnham ensuring that that could be watered down?
Well, you're absolutely right, Ellie. The only reason he would promote Shabana Mahmood to the Treasury, to the Chancellor, is because he wants to water down immigration rules. We all know that. Ask anybody in the street what Labour's policy is on immigration, and they will just say it's completely soft. And this, again, is pandering to his backbenchers. It's about time the Labour government and the Labour leaders pandered to their natural vote. This is why they're losing millions of voters around the country. They're just not listening to people. And I will say this. I saw on the news last week that there was rumours of Ed Miliband being put in number 11. My goodness, what a shocker that would be. But as soon as this rumour was quashed, actually the pound started to rise. So it tells you all you need to know about the people that Andy Burnham's got to work with at the moment. They're a right shower.
Last question for you, Lee. Here, the Guardian's front page here. Time for the UK to face up to its challenges. Burnham, assuming he's the one who's going to be saying that. What are the real challenges? What do you think Labour thinks they are, and what do you think they are facing Britain?
I tell you what, my real challenges are, Alex, is you sat there reading The Guardian. What's going on with you? Rip it up and throw it in the bin. There you go. That'll do, won't it? How do you like them apples?
Brilliant stuff. Thank you, Lee Anderson, for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Lee. Loads of you getting in touch. Do you know what I'm really sensing for the viewers today is the shock at the situation we find ourselves in. Judith saying, how has this person been able to come in and just become our Prime Minister? How have we accepted this? We didn't vote for this.
And it's not just because we have had Prime Ministers that haven't been elected before. I mean, Boris Johnson, Rishi Sunak. Boris obviously got a mandate eventually, but we have seen this happen before. The difference is that he wasn't even an MP.
In 2024?
Yeah, even a couple of months ago, he wasn't an MP. He's not just become an MP, he's become an MP, then immediately become Prime Minister. Incredible. Never
really
happened in British politics before.
Yeah, Nanny Lulu says this is utterly farcical.
Yes, it didn't used to happen quite so often, did it? 7 in 10 years, quite extraordinary. The instability in the political system now, it seems to almost be baked in. And people are already saying to me, how long has Burnham got? Does he last a year? Does he last 18 months? Does he call an election in a year? Because there will be a Burnham bounce, I'm pretty sure. But how long will it be? Will it last? And of course, unlike any other Prime Ministers, we have no inkling, really, what he's planning to do. He's told us more about his favourite music bands in Manchester since he's been MP for Makerfield than he has about what he plans to do with taxation. He's hinted taxes are going to have to go up. Of course they are, because he's a Labour leader. He said last week he will govern as an authentic Labour leader. Well, authentic Labour means higher taxes and probably higher spending. I don't think there's going to be any cuts in welfare. And I was talking to a very senior minister last night. Whether he or she will still be a senior minister in a few hours' time is another matter. Who knows? And they said the collapse in Keir Starmer's authority down to that moment last summer when he blinked over the famous welfare revolt. Do you remember? £5 billion of cuts were being planned by the government, but there was a Labour revolt. He should have seen it off. He didn't, and they said his authority disintegrated. So Burnham knows he's got Labour MPs now who've centred real power. They've got rid of one leader. They can do it again.
OK, Andrew Pearce there for us in Downing Street. Thank you very much.
And joining us now.
The shift at Westminster. Is the political settlement crumbling beneath our feet? Welcome back to Britain Underneath, where we look far past the carefully curated headlines to uncover what is truly happening in the corridors of power. Before we dive into the deep political waters today, please support the channel by subscribing right now, hitting that notification bell, and staying with us throughout this piece. It really helps this channel grow and allows us to bring you the sharpest analytical coverage every single week. There is a distinct aroma floating through the grand corridors of Whitehall, and it is not the classic polish of old oak desks. It is the unmistakable smell of deep anxiety. The political ecosystem of the United Kingdom is experiencing a shift so profound that even the most seasoned parliamentary spectators are adjusting their spectacles in disbelief. For decades, the country operated under a predictable rhythm. Governments were formed, policies were delivered with varying degrees of success, and backbenchers murmured quietly until an election was called. That comfortable rhythm has completely fractured. Take a breath, because understanding this dynamic requires us to look past the usual political posturing and examine the real structures driving these decisions. If you value independent, rigorous analysis that cuts straight through the noise, please subscribe to Britain Underneath and join our growing community of informed observers. Your support keeps this project going. What we are witnessing right now, across the political spectrum, is not simply a change in leadership or a routine cabinet reshuffle. It is a fundamental challenge to how authority is exercised in modern Britain. The public mood has turned distinctly cool toward traditional party lines, and the patience of the electorate is running exceptionally thin. When political leaders struggle to control the narrative, The immediate reaction is often to double down on administrative tinkering. Yet, replacing key figures in high office while keeping the underlying framework untouched rarely placates a frustrated electorate. Notice how swiftly the political discourse moves from one headline to another. One day, the focus is entirely on fiscal responsibility, and the very next, attention pivots to sweeping promises of regional reform and state restructuring. It is a classic strategy designed to keep critics off balance. But beneath that surface activity lies a stark reality. The backbenches are restive. Key opposition figures are scenting blood in the water, and the electorate is demanding tangible outcomes rather than clever talking points. If you are finding this breakdown insightful, do take a moment to hit that subscribe button for Britain Underneath. It costs nothing, helps us immensely, and ensures you never miss our detailed examinations of British power dynamics. The true test for any administration lies in whether it can manage internal dissent while delivering on core promises like public services, economic stability, and border management. When ministers begin whispering to journalists in quiet tea rooms, and when backbench MPs start questioning the long-term vision of their leadership, the structural integrity of the government begins to show subtle cracks. It creates a vacuum, a space where alternative political movements can gain traction simply by pointing out the visible contradictions in the governing strategy. Consider the economic pressures currently facing households across the nation. Tax burdens remain a point of intense contention. Public sector demands continue to grow, and the debate surrounding regulatory reform remains fiercely contested. Any leader attempting to navigate these turbulent waters must balance the demands of their own party members with the stark realities of public expectations. To pretend that a simple change of personnel at the top of the party hierarchy can magically solve deep structural challenges is optimistic at best and deeply misguided at worst. Stay with us until the very end as we examine what this means for the future of British democracy and where the political map goes from here. Take a breath, stay informed, and remember that keeping up with these shifts is essential if we want to understand the true trajectory of the country. As we look toward the coming months, the parliamentary calendar promises to be nothing short of explosive. Major policy announcements, fiscal statements, and impending electoral tests will force every major party to reveal their true priorities. Will the current political establishment find a way to steady the ship, or are we on the verge of an even greater alignment shift in British politics? The indicators suggest that the old rules no longer apply, and those who fail to adapt will be left behind. Thank you for spending your time with us today on Britain Underneath. The conversation does not end here, and we want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please subscribe to the channel, share this video with fellow observers, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming analysis. Stay curious, stay informed, and we look forward to welcoming you back for our next deep dive into our heart of UK politics.